Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another review. Today, I want to talk about my most anticipated movie of the entire year, Avengers 3 Infinity War. I was super duper excited about seeing it. In fact, I even rewatched the first two Avengers movie the day before to prepare myself. One weird thing, though, I thought the movie was supposed to come out on the 4th of May, but the movie was pushed backwards to a week earlier. I can only assume that even the movie itself cannot wait any longer to get released. With all that aside, does this movie set an infinite time of fandom and enjoyment? Let's figure it out. In the movie, Thanos finally shows himself longing to reshape the universe by collecting the Infinity Stones. Both the Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy set out to find the stones and stop and defeat Thanos. What I want to say is that after 10 years of built up to this moment is finally worth the payoff. How Thanos was built up since his appearance in the first Avengers movie is so definitive, and I'll tell you all why at the later part of the video. What's also handled extremely well were the interactions with the characters, from their own groups, like Strange interacting with Iron Man, Thor interacting with the Guardians, and most of the original roster, and Black Panther. And also the feeling and the atmosphere. This is probably the darkest MCU movie so far. There are some moments that do make me laugh. I'm starting to think I made half of the theater audience laugh at for one moment, but there are other moments that made me want to burst into tears, especially near the end of the movie. It proves how deep these films could go in terms of tone and atmosphere. One more thing I want to talk about is that there is one surprise in the middle of the movie, and I was like, wow, I haven't seen you in a long, long time. The action is, as always, one of the best parts of the movie. My favorite being in the climax. If you don't know which one I'm talking about, it's where half of the Avengers were fighting those four-armed creatures in Wakanda. That's pretty much my favorite type of battle sequences, like the battles in Return of the King. It's not much of a spoiler because tiny bits of it were shown in the teaser. For the characters themselves, yeesh. There's quite a lot of the characters introduced in the MCU, except for at least a couple. Some characters stand out the most here, like Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, and also the way the Guardians were introduced in this movie. Like a quarter of the movie felt like a Guardians movie with their side of the story, and the other two quarters felt like a Thor movie and an Avengers movie. Back in the topic at hand, almost each character had a part to play in here. Iron Man is still haunted after his appearances in other movies, both Cap and Hulk returning after a 1 to 2 year absence. The impact of Civil War is it's all still here. Spider-Man getting the Iron Spider armor, which is very cool, that I'm glad they're adding it into the upcoming PS4 exclusive Spider-Man game. Doctor Strange and the way he interacts with some other characters is also hilarious and awesome. There is one more character that I saved the best for last, and that is Thanos himself. Oh my goodness, he's pretty much my favorite MCU villain so far. He's a more developed villain than I thought he would be. In the previous movies, you see him as this big bad deity-like alien, and here you see he has a reason of doing what he's doing, which I won't say if you haven't seen the film yet. It makes me think that this is why most of the MCU villains are weak. Marvel focused their efforts and developments on Thanos himself for this movie. I will say that there's only one tiny issue. This movie could have been at least a tiny bit longer, but I'm very satisfied with what I saw and what I got. This movie is definitely worth the hype, and I can't wait to see what happens next in Infinity War Part 2. At least, that's what I'm going to call it for now. Everything that's happened here, I just want to know what's next for our favorite superhero team. So, with all that said, I'm going to give Avengers Infinity War a 9.5 out of 10. I still can't believe this is 10 years since the MCU started. And this is the excellent way to start it off, with the snap of these fingers. So join me next time for my review of Deadpool 2, but also as I finally wrap up my Let's Play of Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, and then on to Shadow of War. Don't forget to like the video, comment down your thoughts on this movie if you saw it yet, and I hope you all have a great day.